Hi, my name's Emily Schiavone. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for North Adams Public Schools, and welcome to Brighton Elementary School.
Hi, I'm Randy Fippinger. I'm at Williams College, and I'm a producer for the Visiting Artists Series at the 62 Center, and I'm also the Outreach Manager for the 62 Center.
Thank you, and thank you for welcoming us today, Emily. My name is Molly Polk, and I am the North Adams Coordinator for Williams College Elementary Outreach, and I'm thrilled to be working with Emily, Randy, Janine Parker, and Noella Carlo on this project, Let's Dance.
So we're here today to talk about this project that we've been working on for the last few months, and I'm wondering, Molly, since you were one of the creators, along with Janine Parker and myself, of this project with Williams Center for Learning and Action, I was wondering if you could describe a little bit about the larger idea of the project and how it came together.
Thank you. So, again, in collaboration with Noella Carlo, who is here in the North Adams Public Schools coordinating the Afterschool program, Janine and I met Noella earlier this year to talk about the possibility of bringing Williams students into the North Adams Public Schools to lead dance programming. And Noella, as she always is, was very open to collaborating with us and knew that Emily and other colleagues in the district would be excited to collaborate as well. So with that, we explored the possibility then with you, Randy, of kind of growing the collaboration on campus in collaboration with the North Adams schools, and began the program in February. Williams students and Janine coming to Brayton twice a week to lead dance classes here.
It's so exciting that Brayton could make space for this with all the other requirements that educators need these days. How did you guys find time? How is it part of your curriculum to do this kind of work?
So that's the beauty of the 21st Century program, is they have a little bit more flexibility. So it takes place after school and during the summer, so it's out of school time, and they can think a little bit outside of the box. They don't necessarily we certainly have requirements that we have to meet, but not to the same restrictions of some of our educators. And so we really love partnering with a variety of partners in the community, including Williams College. And it allows our students to experience something other than the typical science or the typical math, and think about school differently.
So Molly, how did this program all come together? Picking up on thinking about school differently, how did it come together both as a project, but then, you're with Center of Learning and Action. How did that help with both the Brayton students and the Williams students?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think, like Emily said, we have a number of programs that are happening during the school day in collaboration with the district, where college students are supporting classroom teachers and elementary students with academic-based learning. But there's been a desire, I think, in speaking with Noella and others in the district, to extend that partnership outside of the school day, and so the after-school program was a perfect place to locate this learning. But one of the things that we found in the in-school programming is that Williams students who are participating in that teaching really are learning more about their own content area, subject areas, by doing the teaching, and so the dance program was an opportunity for the Williams students who are involved as dancers at Williams to deepen their practice as dancers through the opportunity to teach dance. So there is certainly the component of kind of mentoring and outreach and community partnership that's part of the work that CLEA does, the Center for Learning and Action, but there's also an academic component. So there's something that is connecting, I think, for the Williams students who participate to their own academic learning back at Williams too.
So we did this performance at Williams College just recently, where we brought in the students and we brought in over 100 members of the Brayton community for this lovely, lovely performance. I know it's just finished, but in the few days since that performance, have you noticed the students responding to it? What's your sense? What is the sense in this community about that performance and this kind of work?
So I think it was really a transformative experience for our students. I was there that night, and to look at their eyes and just see their jaws drop as they entered this truly professional stage atmosphere that their families were experiencing as well. And the more that we can have our students exposed to college campuses, the better. And so I know that that is an experience that they will remember for the rest of their lives.
So what's Act 2? Are we going to try to do this again next year? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, yes, and yes, yes. We're certainly hoping to be able to continue to build on what we've begun. And I would just say, too, going back to Emily's point about the experience of awe in that theater, I think it went in both directions. I think for the Williams students who were there, too, kind of the dancers, there were both the dancers who have been teaching here at Brayton, but other dancers who are part of Janine Parker's company were also participating in the presentation that day. And I think that as with all of our programs, the learning goes in multiple directions always. It's a win-win-win, as we sometimes like to say with these partnerships, where the college students are learning just as much and growing just as much, I think, as the elementary students are sometimes. So yes, to go back to your question, I very much hope it will continue. I know Janine and Noella do as well, and Emily, yeah.
Yeah, I would echo that. I mean, I think that the level of professionalism that Janine has brought to the table with the college students, it's just such great role modeling for our students, which is so imperative to the 21st century after school program. And so we definitely hope to continue the partnership and think about different ideas that we can bring to the table.
Thank you so much for your time.
Randy, tell us a little bit more about the role of the 62 Center in this project and the value of the project to you in the 62 Center.
Well, the 62 Center wants to be reaching out to the community on sort of the most basic level. We want to be bringing new audiences, both these students and their families. We want them to feel welcome at Williams and welcome into our theaters. But we also want to diversify our programming. We want different kinds of artists, and I view all of these students as artists because they're expressing the way they move their bodies as any other artist would on our stages. And so it's about sort of the spectrum of work that we have on our stages, whether it's professional artists, the student artists, or even these artists, these young artists, budding artists. And so we're really excited to participate. And then thank you so much for allowing the 62 Center to participate.
So I'm personally just in awe every time I watch Janine teach her class and bring them to perform. She raises the bar every single time. The level of control over their bodies that she teaches them, the language that she teaches them, all of that she brings to the table is just really incredible.
Another thing that I really value about this kind of education, especially at this age, is because these students their bodies are about to change. And this work teaches them to respect their body and value how they move and how they present themselves, and realize that it's really important. No matter how they look, how they feel, they can be so proud of themselves and how they are in space. And the confidence building and the education about themselves and the value of embodied learning starts here as well, that they can express themselves through their body and how important that is.
Randy, just to pick up on what you mentioned about embodied learning, I think that's one of the powers of the arts in education, is to create a kind of culture of wellness, that what the students are doing is kind of about individual expression, but it's also about working together in a community, that they are each part of a system that works best when they are together and kind of working in tandem with each other. And that notion of wellness, I think, is increasingly part of arts education in the field, and the idea of kind of uplift that the arts provide to students of all ages and to their teachers as well.
Dancers, these we're going to do. We're going to have our arms in second, but our legs are in first. And we're going to go out and close and other leg and other leg and other leg. That was how many braces? It was 4. You switch legs. Yeah. And then we're going to do the circle of the arms and 3 and up. You can't lose right. Out and close and out. We're going to reverse the circle. But still switching your legs and 4. Still pointing your legs and feet. Yeah.
Legs and feet.
Legs and feet. Well, you're stretching your legs, right? Okay. And arms in second. Here we go. Go one leg, switch, up, switch. Here comes the circle. Arms down, arms first, arms hip, arms second, reverse yours. Very even. And even when she went back, she didn't twist. Did you see that? Yes. And did she sickle her foot?
Definitely not. You were perfecto.
Perfecto. Wow. Perfecto. Okay. So when we roll in the jump, we have to keep both of our legs together. So right about here, instead of going like this, we're going to keep that's right. It's not impossible. Clearly, watch us try to do it. So you tell me if it's impossible. Not impossible. Really hard.
I mean, impossible to do this. Like, catch this. Great.
You just did it. First position. Shoulders down. On in front. Circle side. Straight this way. Circle back. Close same leg. So the kitten is on the front of your ankle. It stays there. And then it falls on your back. Other leg. Who's breathing? Who's dancing? Circle. Are you really stretching through your toes? Front. Circle. Side. And close. Let's take a break with the arms back and make them smaller. And down. We're not going to do a circle up there. We're just going to bring them up and down. Up and down. Return or reverse. Fingers on the back of your ankle. Crawl to the front of your ankle. Oh, what about the hips? Same idea. I think you can do it back. And side. Good. And front. Out your leg over. Your leg in first. On your back with music. Circle side. Both legs coming out, dancers.
Yes.
Side. Back front. Now put your hands on your hips. Let's trace from our ankle up our shin to our knee. And the knee is open. Good. Float back down. Other one. This way. You're going to find in your back pocket.
Ice cream. Yo-yo.
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 And put it away. And other foot up. Knee is open.
Ball to go. Let's go.
Boy, this pocket's incredible. Put it away. And now, I don't know. You guys decide what you're fine.
Sunday.
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't be fine. You can write anything. Soon. Develope. And what does develope mean? Develop. Okay. So we've already done our balancing in retiré. Sometimes we do our balancing and then we do develope. I think we can go right to it. And we're going to be really ready for it because we just did that balancing, okay? And at the end of the develope, Ms. Grace, that was very good. We're going to try not to do watch. What did I do that we're going to try not to do?
You went very
Kind of kick,
fast.
exactly. Right. So we'll do developping parallel and then we'll do our develope turned out.
Oh
Now,
my God.
to get the leg higher, is it okay to do this?
No, we do that. It's like a ninja.
And you know what, in choreography, it's beautiful, okay? But we're going to do parallel feet. Right leg, if you're sure which one it is. Stretch without kicking. Shouldn't hurt on you. It's hard. Where are your necks? Oh, I guess people leave their necks at home. And some ways. And now your left foot. Remember when we used to grab from the air when we tried to slide like way back when we started? This is good. Oh, what happened there? Close. Do we have enough room? Turn out. Now let's put our arms in first position. And, right leg. So you can breath up. Now, we're not going to lean. We're going to try not to fall over. Point those legs. Feet. And close. Well, don't lift it quite so high. And lift. Woo. And stretch. It's hard for us to do. Lower down and close. We do after develope. Miss Tessa. Grand bâton. Everyone say grand bâton. Very fancy. And thank you. Is that what it looks like? Okay. And brush, tommy, and close. Switch legs. Brush, tommy, and close. Switch legs. Brush. Oh, that was fantastic. Switch legs. Would you like some people to join you? 1 ple 8 plus 2 to 8 plus 1 ple 8 plus 1 okay.
Don't hop. We have to go. Don't bounce.
Don't bounce, okay. That's right. Yeah, unless in choreography, right? 'Cause sometimes we do hop. Yes, you jump. So a jump is usually 2 legs landing on 2 legs. A leap is landing on 1 leg. Okay, so say so take it with a jump.
So take.
Sounds great. To this day, it doesn't make sense to me. Well, so and then first position. But before we do something else, so we'll just do parallel and first. What dear?
I feel every time. We bend on the numbers, we jump on and.
You got it. You got it. We bend on the numbers and we jump on and.
All
right.
go.
Yay and jump. Yay. Stretch 1 plie, 2 bandages, 1 plie, foot something. Plie and jump and jump and jump and jump and jump. What is the jump called that uses first and second position? Yasmin? Wait until I call you next time. Échappé. What does échappé mean? And what does it look like? Yeah. Yes, very good. Okay. Your first échappé is going to be the best échappé you have ever done in your entire dancing career. And then each one is going to be better. Plie, escape, stretch. Remember we have the stretch in between? Sometimes stretch. This is 3. Here, this is 4. Are you jumping as high as you can? This is 5. And we're not balancing, right? 6. 7. 8. Getting tired yet? 9. Really? I am. 10. And then, whenever you go home, you get to the 10 more, okay? I think we should introduce ourselves. I'm Janine Parker, artist in residence at Williams College.
I'm Joelle Triano. I'm a junior at Williams College.
I'm like interviewing you.
That works.
So how do you feel about this interview?
Oh, it's great. Really excited.
We're very happy to be teaching these wonderful children at Brayton Elementary and from other schools that come to Brayton Elementary for the after-school program. And this is the first time that we've had this particular program, and we've started just in the 3rd week of February. And I'm pretty tickled and amazed by what the students have been doing so far.
Yeah, I think it's been really wonderful to work with these kids. They come from, all these different schools, but they're here for an hour and a half, however long it is, and they just have been eating it up, I think. It's really wonderful to come here after school and just get to see them and teach them what we're doing.
Usually we have on Wednesdays, and today is a Wednesday when we're filming this, we have a wonderful pianist, John Sauer, who is a pianist in the world. He's been performing and accompanying dance for many, many years and decades. Very respected musician. He plays the piano right over there on Wednesdays for the children. And on Fridays, we have a percussionist, Gary Arzab, also a wonderful musician. So we feel that if we're going to offer this dance class for these children, that we are going to offer the best experience they can have, and that includes having fun, of course, but really taking the students seriously, helping them learn how to respect themselves, how to progress by practicing and working at things, and hopefully, again, still having fun. And live music is just, for most dancers, an obvious way of having excellence in a dance class. Yeah. Did you have live music when you were training?
I didn't. No, I never had that, but it's wonderful to have since coming to Williams. It's amazing because I think also there's a lot of flexibility in what you can do in class. You can change things all the time, and it's just so much more nice to hear. It's really beautiful. It's like what John plays during Coda is amazing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So with live music, there's also the flexibility of the children. When we have our accompanists here with us, we also take little breaks and have the children clap out and count out different rhythms so they learn how to hear and count a march, how to hear and count a waltz, a polka, that sort of thing. And that sort of
learning sensitivity to music makes them also better dancers, because dance is not just the physical aspect, it's also the artistic aspect, which goes hand in hand from the very beginning of training, and musicality is a very important part of a dancer's artistry.
Yeah, that was the waltz. Yeah, this is march, right? So waltz is the 3 steps. Tell me what words we use for the 1, 2, 3. And what is down when you're down?
Like down. That's
But we talked about specifically what's down there.
you have one foot up, and then you have the heel down.
Your heel down, exactly. Your heel is down and your knee is bent. And your heel is down, your knee is bent. And then you go to releve. And you keep switching which leg is the down leg, right? Because you have 3 steps and only 2 legs. Why don't we do our waltz walk? And this time I think I'll stand over there. And when you get to me, we will do some swan arms. And you're going to pretend that you're looking in a mirror, and you're going to mirror what arms I do. Let's listen. Let's listen before Gracie goes. Let's practice count. Actually, before I do, you count it. Let me hear you. Good. That's exactly right. Okay. You ready? Wait. So the rest of you, while Gracie is going, you're going to count and clap. Here you go, Gracie. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't hear you. 5. Good. You can say yes in my way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, then out. Dee-da-da-dum, dee-da-da-dum, dee. Yeah, you take it away.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Dee-da-yum, I don't really remember, but now we have yum, bump, sweet, bump, deep, put it down. 5 and 6 and 7, 8, switch 1, 2, no, get 3, 4, and then dee-da-da-da-da, bump, sing, sing, the world, music, that is okay, just, yep, keep dancing, no matter, keep dancing, and dee-da-da-da. Please don't do that on purpose. It's one thing for the first time. And now, well, there's nothing there, but if the musician was there. Okay, so 7, 8. Front, side, back, close, front, side, back, we yay. Wait to hear it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Lift your leg up, put it down, other leg up, put it down, change lines, and wait to hear it again. Very good. Hey, listen, this is what Okay, fine. So that's 2 steps, which are great. So let's look at this in together. So maybe you went 1, 2.
No, the other way, the 4.
Okay, fine.
You do 4 that way, 4 this way.
3, 4 the other way. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it looks like you did an arabesque. Then you did an arabesque. Okay. And then what can we do after the arabesque? A spin. Okay. Okay, wait. So we're building it here. Ready? Let's all keep learning this. Ready? So we're gonna go this way. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Other way. 5, 6, 7. Arabesque. 1, 2. Turn. I didn't bring my leg. That's okay. Okay. There you go. 1 and 2 and 3 and other way. 5 and 6 and 7. Arabesque. Turn. Arabesque to the right.